Welcome to the official BFOP 2025 podcast hosted by Matt and Nick.
Oh, I don't want that one. This one.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This is the Camera Life podcast, proudly brought to you by Lucky Straps. But of course, this is a very special edition of the Camera Life podcast because we have a BFOP, yes, a Bright Festival of Photography booking party. Not booking party, packing party. We've already done the booking.
Party.
Oh, I got caught out. It's all happening so fast.
Do you know how disappointing I would be if we had to do the booking again? That would just, I would just walk away.
I haven't even finished my therapy over that.
If the system just dropped everyone's bookings and they were just magically gone, that would be, imagine.
Oof.
Good work. Have you printed them out, Matt?
What, the bookings?
Yeah.
No, once it got stolen by that cybersecurity hack thing, I just figured that we'd try and recover it before the day.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
Nice.
But obviously tonight we're joined by proud BFOP parents, Matt Crummins and Nick Fletcher. G'day, guys. Welcome to the show.
G'day.
Hi.
What's up?
We're here to marvel at your new love child, BFOP 2025. Stick around, everybody. Tonight we're going to be answering your questions and some of the most, some of the top issues, hot topics for BFOP 2025. We're on board for that. If you're new to the channel, please give us a like. It helps everyone else see it. And also subscribe. We air live twice a week, Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for all your photography news, reviews, interviews, and much, much more. How are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm good.
Wow.
Good.
Pretty good.
Such a response.
This is a bit of the festival where we get anxious because we know we've forgotten a whole lot of stuff, and what we haven't forgotten we've cocked up, and we just won't know it for another week.
And can I say that's actually the only reason that we're here is to be reminded of all the stuff that we've forgotten. This is really a recce mission for us.
Nice. Well, look, we're all on board for it. Justin and I are here, obviously. We'll support you emotionally in any way that we can.
But that's it, emotionally only. We're not going to lift a finger to actually assist.
Nothing physical.
But our thoughts are with you.
So let's get a temperature check. So Matt, how are you feeling about BFOP 2025 at this exact moment?
You know what? I think, to be honest, normally this is the part where we're going, oh crap, like what's going on? Everything happened earlier this year. We made sure, ticket bookings or the workshop bookings happened early. We've been pretty across it. Nick hasn't just been lazing on a beach somewhere in the last 2 months, so he's actually helped this year, which has been amazing. I think we're actually in a pretty good spot. I don't know, I mean, emotionally, I'm in a horrible place, but festival-wise, I think we're good.
All right. Well, you can't have it all, Matt. And Nick Fletcher, how are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, awesome. Really, really looking forward to it. I mean, it's been sort of in one way sort of super seamless. We've had a few internet crashes and things, but no, that's been really good. We've got just way more choice on workshops than we've ever had. I mean, I think we've had the uncertainty around sort of the police issues, but
we'll get to that later.
To it now. Yeah.
No, that's great. It's good to hear. And of course, the lights wouldn't be on if it wasn't for Justin. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. I've had a long day.
No. So we only had time for one question.
Okay.
One answer.
Let's jump to the live chat. Dennis Smith was first in the live chat, as always. School of Light. This time next week, the car will be packed and the 13-hour drive begins. So pumped. So we're pumped. We just don't have to drive 3 hours, which is much better. Paul's pumped too. John Pickett's here. Philip Johnson's here. Greetings. He's ready for BFOP. Tim Siamas is here. Did you get a ticket, Tim? I thought you couldn't get a ticket. Oh, that's cool.
He works the magic. Well, Matt worked the magic, I think, but he got in.
I think it was one of those, sometimes people have a lotto ticket they pinned on their fridge and they forgot about it. I'm pretty sure it was one of those situations.
Right. Les, what's up?
Hey, Les.
And Lisa Leach, 9 sleeps until BFOP. What else we got? Bruce Moyle, awaiting the chaos. Greg Carrick. We'll put, hang on. Okay, I'm a weird one here. Going to Bright, but not BFOP. BFOP, look out for me at the cafes. Yeah, he's an infiltrator.
Yeah.
He'd be sneaking into
He's
workshops.
a lurker
Watch
with a
out.
long lens.
Watch out for that face.
Yeah.
In black and white. Kim P, good to see you. Marlene Chiatra, a new member. Thank you. You're helping keep this show alive. The lights on. We appreciate it. Hopefully you went for the really expensive one. Not the $2.99 one. No, I'm just kidding. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Andrew Thompson, good evening. What else? John Pickett will be at BFOP from Wednesday before to the Wednesday after. Need to organise some meetups before and after. Well, we're getting there on the Wednesday. Greg and I are getting there on Wednesday afternoon. So we'll be kicking around. Hit us up, see what's up.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast. Craig Murphy, good evening. Felicity, what's up? Problems picking which nightie to wear. Well,
why not take both?
The short one.
You could always double
Short
up.
one.
You could the short one.
Jesus Christ.
okay.
You know what? Everyone's just been completely scared off because if that's Nick's mentality and they're going to see him dressed up, I mean, that's just where the nervousness starts, doesn't it?
What nightie are you bringing, Nick?
Yeah.
Matt's doing Saturday night. I'm doing Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Another new member, Jill Bell. That is amazing. We really appreciate
Jill.
it.
Thank you.
Julie
Jeez,
Powell,
Nick, we
good
should start a
evening.
YouTube channel. It looks like you they're
could
just
make-
rolling in it here. It's,
You could make threes of dollars. Helen Banks, good to see you. Oh, David Clutterbuck's here. That's weird.
Oh.
He's not usually around when Nick's around. That's interesting.
He lost weight. Only on his hairline.
I would say Nick looks great as he lost weight.
That's-
Oh,
Pretty
David,
sure
you
that's lens
noticed. Thanks.
compression,
Yeah,
yeah.
feeling good.
Yeah. Go on, you, David.
All right, there's so many. Brendan Waits,
Yep.
good to see you. Glenn Lavender, Titchy Frog, Dave. Are you coming, Dave? I don't know if you're coming.
Yeah.
Is he? Anyway, John Burt, Jennifer Johnson. We'll get to your question in a sec because Jennifer Johnson wants to know about gear. We're going to give you a rundown on what gear to bring. I'll give you a hint, all of it, and then buy more while you're there.
Yep.
Angela Lerm, Nick Sage, everybody's here. David De Parker, yes. DDP in the house.
Hey, David.
Tweak Productions, and of course, Yelena.
Hey, Elena.
Okay, should we do some stuff?
The real brains of the show. Let's face
It was
it.
a long intro. Where do we want to start?
It is a long intro. Well, let me just give everyone a very quick rundown about what we're going to cover off tonight. So tonight we're basically doing a Q&A. You can drop questions in the chat. We'll keep an eye on the chat to make sure we get to your questions. We apologize if we can't get to them all. It depends on how many are coming through, but we'll do our best. But we've also got a hotline that you can call and ask questions live on the air with
Go
your
on.
voice. What's the
I wonder
number,
if
Justin?
David Flutterbuck will call in.
Oh, he should.
No, it's
David, you
Flutterbuck
should
this
call
time.
in.
Is Flutterbuck in the chat? I know Clutterbuck.
I don't know.
Clutterbuck. One of them
Yeah.
should definitely call in whilst Nick is here. That would be awesome.
That'd be incredible.
That would be incredible.
But so what we're going to cover off tonight, we're going to cover off a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to do some Q&A. We are going to talk about the police operation in the area of Brighton, Porpunka. We're going to talk about what's happening on the stage. When you're not doing a workshop, what are you going to do with your time? Well, we've got that planned out for you already. We're going to talk about parking. We're going to talk about the food options that are available. We're going to talk about the best of Bright. What else is there to see and do? You know, and I know last year I met people whose partners came with them, but they weren't photographers. They were off doing other things. So it's always good to know what you can send your better half off to do. We're going to talk about gear and what to pack. That's really important to know. And a few other things. We're going to talk about, what brands and stands are going to be in BFOP HQ. Who can we expect to see? We're also running a daily podcast up there every morning, live from Bright. We will
If the equipment works.
Yeah, well, it depends on where the style.
No promises.
Really.
Yeah.
That's
That's the plan.
And there's a couple of other things, but we'll get to those in good time. So let me ask you first, Nick, what is the most asked question that you get, whether it be online or, yelled at you over a telephone about BFOP 2025? What do you think is the most important thing that people would want an answer to? No pressure.
God, I couldn't know one question. Generally, it's people asking me about what do I bring, what equipment do I need, or just being anxious about the sort of whole logistics and sort of going up on their own. It's sort of some mix of those questions, and it's generally people being sort of unnecessarily worried about turning up to this thing that they've never been to before. Anyone who's been before, they've got it. It's fine. But it's this sort of general sense of anxiety. I've got the wrong equipment. I don't know where I've got to be. Am I going to have anyone to talk to? It's that sort of stuff.
And so what is your advice? What's the best piece of advice for those new people that are feeling a little apprehensive about what to expect, what to bring, all of those things? What do you think?
Well, you got 500 people who are there just to help you. Like it's just this wonderful sense of everyone's there to make everyone else have a brilliant weekend. So it's just a super welcoming, no stress community.
Yeah.
If you didn't turn up with a camera, someone would find you a camera. Like if you couldn't get a lift to somewhere, you'll get a lift. It's just a really beautiful, welcoming group of people. So turn up with an open mind, sort of talk to the people around you and have a fabulous weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I even hitchhiked with someone last year just to get to a workshop. It was for Carl. It was for Carl's workshop. That's the length that I got to. I got into a stranger's car. It's never happened before.
Were they part of BFOP, or was it just
well, thankfully it turned out they
total
were.
random? Like,
No. It turned out they were. It all worked out for the best. And what about
Sarah
you, Matt?
Nichols, just quickly, Sarah Nichols says, we know it's a level of crazy organized chaos, but everyone is so lovely and helpful in my experience. And that was
great.
So even last year when we went, you do have some gaps in your brain. You're like, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here or then or afterwards or in between this and this. But it all just flows. And if you're not sure, you just ask somebody, and they probably have been to BFOP 3 times. Half the people that are going, you guys might even have stats on this. Do you know how many people have been before and how many people are new, or is that not something the system?
Well, we do. We have that. The system can tell us, but unfortunately, the system needs like coaxing to get that kind of information. We will have that. We can get it by BFOP, but no, not at the moment. We haven't looked that up yet.
But there's a ton of people that have been. Multiple times, so the chance that if you tap any photographer on the shoulder, there's a high chance they're going to be like, oh yeah, you just go over there, it's down there, or this is what's happening, or whatever. So just ask someone. Everyone's friendly. Make some friends.
And if you are traveling up alone, and you don't necessarily want to drive to every workshop, or maybe you want to share a lift with someone, there will be carpooling, and we'll cover that off in the section that I've called "You Can't Park There, Mate." So we'll talk about that very shortly. But Matt, what about you? What seems to be the big question that you get at this sort of point in the lead up to the festival?
To be honest, it's actually been really quiet on our end with the questions, which is awesome for a change. I think that's probably the same as Nick, though. I think a lot of people who haven't been before get very, very focused on the details. And as they may have figured, we're not details people. So, I think you've got to jump into BFOP with a certain level of faith. Unlike some events that are organized where you've got a team of, 100 people and, they're all got their own divisions to work out their own bit. This is very much like 2 people kind of having 10 phone calls a day between their other meetings to try and work stuff out. So like I get a lot of things, I went on the website and it didn't tell me where the main stage was. And I'm like, okay, cool. I get that. But when you arrive, you won't miss it. Like it's not going to be a problem. Just that kind of thing. I think you've got to look at BFOP and realize that it is a very, very small organization. And so have some faith that unless it's something totally catastrophic that you go, they haven't thought of that, it's probably just going to happen. And you'll go, oh, wow, that happened, and it won't be what you expect anyway. So it doesn't really matter whether you know it before you go or not.
Yeah. My best advice, I've only been to BFOP once. Justin and I went last year to suss out what was going on. And we had a blast. We're back for more, obviously. But my best advice for people is just to lean into the unknown a little bit. It will absolutely elevate your experience. And that's coming from someone who, I have a lot of anxiety around details and planning. So working for Justin is quite tricky in that respect. But
come on.
But lean into it a little. Just lean into it. I learned to do that last year and I had an absolute blast. So, let's get to some specifics.
Just quickly, Brendan Waits has a very important question. He just said, "What's for dinner, Justin?" Because Elena just brought in my food. So this is why I said I had a big day. I got up at 4:30 a.m. this morning to smoke an 8-kilo brisket. And you can't
Oh.
really see it because it's going to fall off if I
Mate,
do this. But
That's a
Fuck
very
off.
small brisket for 8 kilos.
it's
Yeah,
a small slice. The problem is I thought I had it timed to perfection, and it still really shouldn't be getting cut up now. But it's anyway. It took. I think it was smoking
Was that a
for
slight
14
against
hours.
Elena's choice to bring dinner now?
She was
Was that a
hungry,
little-
so
Oh, okay.
it
Fair
was
call.
time.
Fair call.
So I might have to sneak a couple of morsels, but don't mind me. Trust me, it tastes good. Anyway, sorry. Back
That's
to
so
the show.
rude. That's so rude.
just undercooked. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not undercooked.
Nothing wrong with undercooked brisket. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's currently a big police presence in Bright, Paul Nick, do you want to give us a bit of an update on what's happening with that situation, just so everyone knows that where we're at with it, what the plans are?
Well, I mean, I'll let Matt talk about it because he's
sorry,
had the most
Matt.
recent conversations. But I think, it's easy to get tied up into how inconvenient it is for us and forget that, like, there's 2 policemen and their families just been devastated by one freaking idiot. And, one of those policemen was a local policeman in Bright. So, it's been brutal for people up there. But Matt's been sort of following up with the national park, and he can talk a little bit more about where we are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think exactly as Nick said, I think it's easy for people to overlook the fact that it's a tragic circumstances, and even knowing time feels like it's passed, and everyone's like, what's happening next, and it's affecting us. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's important to keep context here. We were up in Bright over the weekend. Bright itself and Port Punker are both still suffering pretty badly. Even just the crowd numbers up there were really, really quite low compared to what they should be for a grand final weekend. So the effects of that are much wider as well. In terms of the update from us, we've been working really hard on backup plans for this. So the last couple of weeks, Nick and I have been in contact with Mount Hotham. We've been in contact with the councils up there, looking at alternative venues, talking to our instructors, basically rejigging half the festival to fit into a non-Mount Buffalo plan. So that is definitely something we have in the wings, ready to go if needed. We have also been in very close contact with Parks Victoria, as you can imagine, and we can say that we're pretty confident that we will be able to run the workshops in Mount Buffalo. So confident that we're not at the moment launching our plan B for everyone. That's very much like if something goes terribly wrong or something happens. But as of today, we're pretty confident that that we'll be able to run as per normal schedule. I think it's really also important to remember, I know there's a lot of people who have probably been a bit concerned around the safety aspect up there, given that the circumstances. What we sort of defer to here is the fact that you've got a lot of people, both Victorian Police as well as Parks Victoria, who are, their number one priority is always the public safety. And you can see that just by the response that's happened. It's a big response. So we're following their lead with all of this. Obviously, we'll do everything inside of the boundaries of what they're allowing us to do as well. So from a safety perspective, we're sort of saying the most conservative people in the room are suggesting it's probably going to be okay. And once it's open, that's a confirmation for us. So we're pretty happy with where things are at the moment, and we don't think that there'll be any need to change at this point. But that's where we're at.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Does that sort of sum it up, Nick?
Well, I would say, look, if we need to change it, for every workshop that's on Mount Buffalo, we have a plan B.
Yep.
Yes.
And in most cases, it's just a like-for-like swap. If there are any issues, like it's a slightly further drive and it messes one of the other workshops, we'll fix that for you at the time, or we'll try and fix it for you. But this is one of those things where you can do the best planning in the world, but you just cannot plan for something like this.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, should anything change last minute, like you suggested, we just follow the advice of the police and Parks Victoria, and we work with that and move ahead with it.
Yeah. And to be honest, this is not a plan as though like, when something happens, we'll think about it. Like, just, everyone can be pretty confident. We've worked around the clock over the last 2 weeks to come up with a second plan. We've had instructors going out into the field looking for new locations and all sorts of stuff. We were up there on the weekend looking at places as well. So we do have a really, really simple transition to a plan B. We don't think we're going to need it. We're pretty confident we won't need it. We've been given, you'll probably be fine. The only effects that would have, I can see Jennifer Johnson's asked a question there about the private properties. The only properties in question is Mount Buffalo National Park itself. So that would be, if there is a problem, it would be Ladies Bath Falls, it would be any of the ones on top of the mountain, as well as Urban Picnic area, which we're swapping to something like so close you wouldn't even notice a difference. But again, I really stress that this can become something that really consumes you as questions. We're across it. Again, have a little bit of, I'm going to say, blind faith that you've got people who have plans in the wings, and just go with it. And if we have a need to put that into place, we will. We'll communicate it as best as we can. If there's an issue, we'll fix it. We've got so many workshop spots. We've got plans here. So just, roll with us, and you should be fine.
Yep. And Jennifer, one of those properties you're talking about is my house, and we've been
there on
staying
Saturday.
up there. Yeah, so it's fine.
We
it's
did
all
have
open as per normal.
What about the what about the curlew, Nick? So Saturday night, freakiest moment ever. We're sitting around the fire at Nick's place, looking out towards the mountain, and we start hearing what sounds like, almost like screams. And we're looking it up, going, well, there must be foxes or something like that. And we, got spotlight out. And then Laura is sitting by the fire and she's Googling. And we find out that actually there's this breed of curlew that when their nest is threatened by another bird, they scream. It wasn't a barking owl; it was something else.
It was weird.
It was weird. But anyway, it is it's not a place you need to worry about right now. Yeah. Okay. Unless you don't like curlews.
Yeah, well, well, at least now you know what to expect.
Julie says the worst.
And
very quickly, Matt, is your microphone Bluetooth by any chance?
It is.
It's doing like a Bluetoothy poppingy type job.
Really?
I don't know. Can you guys hear that? It's like
I couldn't hear it.
I tune out most of the time when Matt talks, but
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Maybe we could do a poll.
I can do a poll. Do you want me to run a poll? Does Matt's mic suck?
All right. Well, look, thanks for that, guys. And having talked to Matt Palmer and Mika, talked to Jesse Hisco, and they all live in Brighton and run businesses in Bright. The whole community's certainly been affected. And towards the end of our time tonight, we'll cover off a few things on what you need to be aware of about the fact that we are visiting another community. We are going to be a large number of people, and what can we do to make sure that the community is not impacted any further than they already are. So we'll get to that in a little bit later. But first of all, we'll come back to shenanigans in a minute. First of all, I just want you to talk people through what to expect when they pull into Bright on the Friday. Where should they park? In this segment, I like to call "You Can't Park There, Mate." So you've organised obviously around 500 car spots around Bright. How are people going to find them?
Do you want me to have a first cut at this?
Anyway.
That's such a Nick question. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
All right, go on.
So we're all in a thing called the Bright Community Centre, which is on Station Street.
Bring up a map.
Which is just on the sort of far side of the high street in Bright. Now, the temptation when you follow your little Google Maps is you'll see a little road and what will be a mine taped off car park, and then you'll think, I'll just put a park on the verge of this road. And what will happen at some point is some policeman will come along at the weekend and tell you to move your car or ticket your car. So just below the community centre on the kind of the Great Alpine Road side of the community centre is a massive car park that you can access from the other side of the community centre. You can access it actually from next to the community centre. Just park in there. Don't park directly next to the community centre. So just
if you whack the satellite view on, you'll see it a little bit better because that's a really poor rendition. Yeah. So there's a car park next to it, looks like a basketball court, and then there's that big bitumen car park that holds hundreds of cars.
Yep. Great.
And if you park in what looks like a basketball court car park, we will collectively carry your car and drop it in the river because we actually need that area.
Yep.
I think the other thing with the parking thing, well, we find out. But the other thing with the parking this year, I would suggest is to make sure that if you're staying like across the road or like 2 doors down, or you're not going on a workshop that afternoon, if you can walk to the community centre and happily still get around to where you need to be, that's kind of best. You know, like don't drive your car there just for the sake of it, because it is a busy place, and Bright's still in full swing as a tourist town on top of what we're doing. So if you can help, if there's a way to minimise how many cars are there, brilliant, do that.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Let's move on to the next bit. Let's talk about the most important thing under a category I like to call bloody starving. Let's talk about food. What's on offer in Brighton, the surrounds. So first of all, what's going to be? We've received notification that there's going to be a food truck and the coffee cart guys coming back. Tell us a little bit about what to expect there.
Matt, this is your side of ship on the cart.
It is. I was actually going to see if I can share the PDF. Can I do it here?
Grant Fleming says Tomahawks. Yes, we will be going to Tomahawks, Grant.
Mm-hmm.
While he's working that out, what I will say is Bright's got a whole lot of cafes and restaurants. And the only issue in Bright is none of them open particularly early. So generally only our coffee cart will be open before 8:30. And the other thing just to plan around is if you're on one of the workshops that sort of kicks out at 8 o'clock, you'll be a bit stuffed for food unless you plan well. And we can talk about how to plan well now. Matt, over to you. Yeah. So the I've just uploaded the PDF. I don't know where it actually goes. It's processing it at the moment. But essentially, we've got a new food truck this year. Our lovely friends at Alpine Platters have actually closed this year, which is sad. But we have got Albert from The Dish, and he is doing all sorts of yummy food. He's doing a breakfast service, a lunch service, and a dinner service for the festival, and that's all days. If you jump onto the BFOP portal under the Beyond the Workshops panel, which tells you where, you know, all the extra stuff, including stage presentations and things, it's got the opening times. I think it's like 7 till 10 is breakfast, and then it's 11 till 2 is lunch, and then I think 4 till 8 is dinner. So he's got amazing looking food. But the other great thing is he's got like $5 toasties. So it's a really good kind of just grab something on the way through. I don't know how anyone does a $5 toastie in 2025, insane. But anyway, he does.
He's going to go broke.
Yeah, it's an egg and bacon toast sandwich.
Should I bring this
for
up?
$5.
I've got the menu here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, awesome.
This is what we're looking at.
Those.
Yeah, so he's going to have a whole bunch of yummy food there for everyone. We also have Mr. Bro Jangles. So Jonas himself will be there doing the coffee cart. He knows that I'm usually at the hall about 5:30, so he tends to kick coffee off about 6:30, lets me suffer for an hour. And he'll be going all the way through to the afternoon. So he has the most amazing coffee as well as other little bits and pieces. So they'll be there. And there is a potential as well, Nick, I believe that we have, there's a new burger joint in town who may be doing a bit of a collab with us.
There's like, I don't know if anyone's been up to Bride in the last 6 months, but there's just the world's coolest American diner called Pit Stop Diner open up just off the Great Alpine Road. And we're trying to, and I still haven't quite finalized it, but I think the deal's going to be you get your order in before 4:30 and then they'll deliver it to the hall at either 6:15 or 7:45, and you can get your American diner burger, milkshake, whatever you want delivered there.
Yeah. Have we got a caller, Justin?
Is that someone trying to call a burger in? Yeah.
Is this Dennis? It's going to be Dennis. It's going to be freaking Dennis.
Hold on, caller. Can you hear us?
I love that you call them caller.
Are you there, caller? No.
I just love how slick this is.
It happens every time. But just wait for us, caller. Hold the line. We can do this.
It's making the festival technology look awfully good.
That's right. Isn't it? This is just, it's like low
Thank
expectations.
you. That's all I can say.
Hold the line. We're coming to you.
Oh, this is painful, now. Justin.
It does it every time. Can you hear us now, caller?
Is this the lag between the conversation we're going to have? Like,
that sounds like Dennis.
Word?
Hello, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, hey! Victory!
Are you there?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask Hi, I'm calling from South Australia, Adelaide. We're a first-time attendees. We're on the bus trip on Thursday. What's the deal with BFOP headquarters and registering?
Great question. So the registrations will be open at 10 a.m. for those who are on the bus. it's only the bus trip that day, so we'll have the registration desk basically next to the bus door, and you'll just go straight through.
Oh, right. Okay, then.
It is terrific. It should be on the if you jump onto the BFOP Beyond the Workshops page, which is in the portal, you should see. Although, no, you know what? I don't think I've got on the Thursday there. You're right, because I was like, one thing happens and that's it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, all good. Ignore
Clear
me.
as mud.
Who are we talking to? I need to know who the first caller on the show was. What's your name?
Oh, it's Wayne Huff from Adelaide.
Awesome. Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks for calling
I can't
in,
wait to
Wayne.
meet you.
Well, and Wayne, thanks for driving 12 hours to come to a festival.
Oh, look, we're looking really forward to it.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just jump in the car with Dennis and save some petrol?
We're coming over in a Fiat 500.
Oh,
nice.
Really?
that's brave.
So that should be fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, look, thanks a lot, fellas. We're looking forward
No
to
worries.
That's
Thanks
awesome.
for calling in. We'll look forward to meeting you.
it. See ya.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, see,
How
flawless.
good.
So that,
Flawless.
yeah, very flawless. Yeah.
What were we
But
talking
yeah, so
about?
the food, we were talking about the food, and the food is basically going to be, so Nick's trying to work out with the burger joint, whether we can get some delivery stuff happening as well. But that'll be something that happens a little closer. We're just working with, it's school holidays up there, so everyone's pretty smashed.
There
And
was
for those
actually
asking
a question
David,
about.
David Skinner's just asked a question about the bus trip. You're just about to get an email with a link to all the information on the bus trip. But the answer is no. If you're on the bus trip, you pack what you need for the day, which is basically lunch and something to eat for in the evening, because you don't get back till about 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have some snacks on board, they say. But yeah, that email will be coming out very shortly. They're just finalising a couple of little details on it, and it's got everything for the itinerary through to what to bring and all sorts of stuff. So yeah.
Yep. Cool. I think that kind of covers bloody starving.
Hey, Grant Fleming, we've got space in our accommodation on Saturday and Sunday night, but you'll have to work for it if you're going to come over.
Oh.
You'll be working hard.
Yeah. Wow.
Come on.
It sounded a bit rude.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to stay in that
Not
combination.
in that way. I mean, doing stuff at the festival,
Yeah.
helping out.
Hey, so just I guess a question I'll throw out there, because all of you obviously have been to Bright a lot. I've been to BFOP once. Justin, you've been to Bright a lot with action sports and whatever it is you do on your bicycle. For people that, maybe they've got a bit of downtime and they want to see a bit more of Bright because they've never been before, what are the kind of the top things for people to do and see? Or perhaps someone's bringing a partner who's not a photographer and they've got a day to fill. What do you recommend?
Well, I can feel the first bit of that, and then I think Nick's got more details. Firstly, we've got tons more workshops available. So if you've got time to fill, if you jump on the website, you can book more workshops. That's always a number one. We've got, when I say tons more work, I mean like hundreds and hundreds of spots on workshops. So that's my first thing. Obviously, the second thing is that we have our main stage presentations in the Nerd Room, which we'll get to, I'm sure, at some point. So there's things happening the whole time. Yep. The only other thing I wanted to say, Nick can cover the actually what's to do in Bright because he knows it way better than anyone. But the only other one I was going to quickly mention, because you reminded me, is that because we have very limited space up there this year, I did want to touch on the fact that a few people sort of have asked, oh, my family's coming up for the weekend, but they're not got a ticket and they're not photographers. Can they still come to the evening shenanigans and can they still come to all the things?
No.
And so, I'm going to say the first 4 years we ran this, it was in a tent and you could literally anyone could show up. We are just so limited on space these days. And also as things get a bit more hectic, the liability of having people there who we don't know are there and stuff like that, or aren't supposed to be there is a bit of an issue. So unfortunately, the answer to that is no. We may be changing that next year with some sort of non-workshop tickets and stuff like that. But this year, unfortunately, if you don't have a ticket, you need to find fun activities around Bright, but unfortunately the festival activities are not really included in your access to Bright. But Nick,
do you want me to do
what is there to do in Bright?
Yeah, well, I mean, Bright's just a beautiful, beautiful place. So, I mean, I would always encourage you to go and do some of the kind of walking around Bright. If Mount Buffalo's open, the big walk to the top of Buffalo from the bottom is a big day out, but it's just one of the most beautiful walks in Australia. It's fabulous. If you want to drive
Snow
a
on
bit further.
Hotham?
Sorry?
Oh, yeah. There's snow on Hotham.
Snow on
The snow on Hotham.
Oh, yeah.
The sort of even just the walks out of town along the river are beautiful. So there's just lots of walking to do.
Yep.
There's some great vineyards, most of which have a cellar door. And you can just between sort of Brighton and Myrtleford, you can absolutely lose the plot just by doing tastings along there. There's some great rail trails to ride, and you can hire a bike in Bright really easily. If you're a mountain biker, it's one of the best places in the world to be. Go and hire a mountain bike. Go and grab Justin, and he'll point you in the right direction.
Jim and I bring ours up.
What I would say is if you've got a partner who's going to mountain bike and you're going to hire a bike or you want to go on shuttles, book.
Yeah.
Because you'll get here and there won't be any bikes available. There's like, if you're bringing a family, some fun things are there's the trout farm in Harriettville, super fun. Go and get yourself some nice trout and cook it in the evening. There's just so much to do. And in the center of town, there's a visitor information center where and the guys and girls who work in there are just lovely. And if you just turn up and go, I'm new to town, what can I do? They will talk to you for an hour about things to do. It's just it's a great place to be. There's even a cinema in Bright if you're really bored.
Yeah,
and
don't forget that
lovely on a weekend.
Yeah, very much so. Because that hangs over at the back of it. It hangs over the river, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
And
I was just going to say,
tons of places to pop into to eat as well, like we mentioned before, Tomahawks,
cafes
and Hometown Pizza and places like that. They take walk-ins. Just get in there early because it does get busy on the weekends. But if you,
I will say this. I don't know if you remember last year, Justin. It was after something, and it went late, and we hadn't eaten, and we went looking for somewhere. Nothing was open very late. So if you like a late night snack, maybe to sort of bed down some of the bevies that you have during the evening shenanigans event, you might want to plan ahead.
Buy a packet of Doritos from the supermarket beforehand.
Yeah, we had trouble finding
there is
a pizza shop.
I think Don Mungo's is open usually quite late. It turns into a nightclub, so you might have to eat a pizza whilst like dancing. But yeah, I think they're open.
That's all right.
Look, the other thing is there will be some little nibbly snacks and stuff like that available throughout the evening stuff as well. Yeah. So, but it is a good idea. Just when you get to Bright, one of the first things I think you should do if you are really jam packed for the weekend, genuinely just go down to Woolies as well and go and grab yourself just some like bits that you can grab at the, they're in the fridge. At least you got the peace of mind knowing that if you get to the end of a night and you've just got totally distracted, you've got some food there. And Woolies is open till 10 as well. So they're pretty good.
And just one last point on that matter, just quickly. Paul said, I have Alpine Light Gallery on my list of things to do too. So Matt Palmer and Mika Boynton's gallery will be open over the Bright weekend. I'm not sure on the hours, but you can hit up their website for more info on that. But yeah, head down to Alpine Light, show them your support, drop in and say good day, have a look at some of their amazing work. They're currently putting up they've just won a bunch of awards for NZIPP and is it AIPP? Is that right?
Well, I think AIPP's.
Oh yeah, they're gone, aren't they? They've won a bunch of awards and they're putting up their award-winning prints for sale. So give them some support, drop in and say good day.
There was a question here, Sarah Nichols, about does that mean chains are required for driving up Hotham or Falls? Just now guessing so. I don't believe so.
I can answer this.
It is. It is at the moment.
But hang on. Come Sunday, it's not.
Yes. Yeah.
And no one's checking at the moment.
Well, they weren't fitting. They weren't fitting today. That's for sure.
No. But they definitely. I was there on the weekend, and they definitely said,
no. But there's a legal requirement to carry. There's a legal requirement to carry chains in the snow season, which runs till Sunday. But as you note, Justin, no one's checking.
Yeah. But also, obviously,
unofficially,
don't drive without chains if it's icy. You might actually want chains, so be careful
and check the forecast.
And don't drive with chains if it's not.
Yeah. That's also good.
Very true. Very true. The lead up to the weekend, it looks like it's going to be a little wet, but warmer days ahead. but obviously it's still a while away, and we do live in Victoria, and anything could be possible with the weather. So as you've all heard, guys, there's lots to do in Bright. There's lots to see. There's amazing food places. There's galleries. There's interesting shops. And a whole bunch going on. So show Bright your support, and maybe when you've got a bit of time, take a stroll up Main Street and drop into a few shops, say good day, and let people know you're thinking of them. Now, should we talk about shenanigans?
Sure.
Let's talk about shenanigans. So let's start with the Friday night.
Friday night spectacular first. Yeah. This is a Nick one.
All right, Nick. Lay it out. What can you reveal? Is there any juicy goss you can reveal here on the Camera Life podcast before anyone else finds out? We'll keep it quiet, I promise.
Well, I mean, those who've done this before would know that it's always a little bit of a surprise what we put on. I think it's going to be a greater variety of surprises on Friday night. So there's going to be plenty to do. Lots of photographic opportunities. And of course, the theme for the night is, and I can't remember how we described it, essentially you're the photo. So light up the night, bring something with lights on. Light up bright. There you are. So if you can sort of get into the vibe, then get yourself dressed up. But that'll be out and about around Bright in a million different locations with some just amazing photographic opportunities. So that'll be a super bit of fun. Bring a camera, bring a tripod if you've got one. There's lots to do on that evening, and bear in mind you're out and about on a dark evening, so if you've got a wider aperture lens, that's probably a good thing to bring. But there'll be something for everyone. Matt, have I sort of said enough to confuse everyone?
Look, I think I'd probably that's enough information. I'm just going to reiterate though that one of the joys of these things, like last year we had the Dark Mofo or Bofo night, and the joy of that was that people really got into the dress ups and really got involved, got some amazing photos. But I think the whole vibe and the atmosphere is when everyone participates. There's no way as a festival we can outnumber the amount of people who are attending, and so we really rely on you guys to get involved. So as Nick said, definitely if you've got dress up in lights and sparkles, and that could be something simple. Go down to the op shop, or not the op shop, the $2 shop. They've got like little LED strips that go off battery packs, and or glow sticks or something. Just
raid your Christmas tree box.
Yeah, but you wouldn't, and just need to be able to plug it in.
That's still a good point. Bring a generator.
We will.
Backpack.
But we will also have
some options for
props.
people to buy if they get.
Yep.
If you get stuck. Yeah.
Got a question.
On. Yep, we got a caller. I'm sure this will take 30
really
seconds. So just hold the phone. Caller, can you hear us? Of course you can.
Hello.
Oh, he can.
Hello, it's Dennis here.
Oh, hi, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
Now I figured if you wanted to have a bit of a chat about lighting shit up.
What would you know about that?
Yeah, come on, Dennis.
All right, here's my three top tips for anyone that's going to be there on Friday night. It is a bit confused about what to do. There are amazing Christmas lights that you can buy round about now, because probably from the beginning of the year. So anywhere that sells Christmas lights, you go and buy them for about between $5 and $15 because we're a bit close to the event now, and they're all run by AA batteries, and you just wrap them around yourself. And if you want to jump on Amazon and have a go, there's all sorts of lights and electroluminescent wire and all sorts of bits and pieces. Now, I'm going to make you a bit of a promise. I reckon I'm going to put a bit of a video together to go into the groupies page with a few links and tips and tricks on how to make yourself all sparkly and bright.
Oh,
I love it.
Nice. Always educating, Dennis. Love it.
Well, light and stuff, and I'm packing my wetsuit. I went and found my wetsuit today, so that's a bit exciting.
He's going to be so excited with everyone's light up costumes. He's probably going to wet himself. That's why, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, goodbye. Carry on. I'll see you in a week.
Bye, Dan.
See you, Dennis.
Bye, Dennis.
Love you, buddy.
Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra.
Hey, whilst we have, can I just say,
No,
whilst we've got not Dennis on the phone anymore, but Dennis's topic up, can I also just point out that at check-in on Friday at 10 a.m., Dennis is going to be trying to perform a world record attempt at doing as many light paintings as possible on stage in an hour. And so
with Instax
during
cameras.
check-in, with Instax cameras. So during check-in, absolutely get involved. It's going to be a hoot. But yes, anyway, back to the Friday night.
Well, very, very important question just come in about the Friday night from Andrew Thompson. Will the bar be open in the community centre?
Yes.
Tomo,
it will.
what a question. Yeah, it will be.
What a
All right.
question.
And so just for anyone that hasn't been before, it will be open on the Friday night and the Saturday night in the community centre from a certain
And during the
6 o'clock or
day,
something. Oh.
during the day on the days as well, because the retailers have to get by too.
Just to keep.
Yeah, it's
to
basically
keep moving.
open from just after breakfast. Yeah,
Whenever the Nikon stand opens.
yeah, basically.
Hey, that's
No, it's actually the Fuji stand that we've got to worry about. I think they got the record last year, so yeah.
Nice.
And there was only one of him.
Another great question. A couple of great questions coming in. Can you still join in on the activities if you're doing a sunset workshop that finishes at 8 p.m.?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's about getting off the mountain and getting back to HQ. The events go officially until 10. And then at about 10 o'clock, we usually go into the community centre again. There's a bit of a social thing. So absolutely come by and join us. There'll be things to be had. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Danny H. And Seymour Bush wants to know, I'm on Waitsy's bus Friday night. Is there a bar?
What, on Hotham?
On the bus?
On the bus.
Oh, my God.
We've not covered that, but that we did. I think the email says bring your own snacks and lunch. So how you interpret that, I guess, is probably on you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that question, Seymour Bush.
Yeah, great question.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, good one, Greg.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Friday night will be a night to bring your camera out, obviously night to dress up, and it'll be a bit of an adventure and a surprise. And be ready.
You'll
to
get some
just
amazing
enjoy the
photos as
evening.
well. So bring your camera bag. Yeah.
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 And I think more importantly, be ready to be a part of it. You know, just like I said earlier,
Yeah.
just lean into that stuff that feels a little awkward because everyone is feeling exactly the same. But if everyone gets into it, everyone leans into it, everyone's going to have an amazing time. And, if last year is anything to go by, you're in for a great night.
What I should say, last year, I think some of the best photos I saw all year, never mind out of the festival, were taken just by people at that dark mofo event, just sort of looking at things a bit differently to everyone else.
Yeah.
And you just I saw 4 or 5 where I went, oh my God, was that shot in a studio somewhere? And it was just someone just seeing things a bit differently to everyone else. And I think this year it'll be that, tenfold.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also been a few people ask, I think, in the Facebook groupies page about do we have to dress up or how many people dress up or whatever. And it's and so last year my experience was tons of people didn't dress up. No one cares. But I would say more people than not did dress up, and it made it super fun. And I would encourage you to, because I had tons of fun doing it. Why wouldn't you? But if you don't worry. No one's going to be like, oh, you didn't dress up. Like, it doesn't matter. But
no,
I would encourage
but
you.
You won't feel awkward dressing up. Yeah, you won't feel awkward like you're gonna rock up and everyone's gonna be like, oh, we didn't tell you the theme was something else. Like if anything, it's more awkward probably not dressing up than it is dressing up. Because it really is a bit of a hoot. And that's what BFOP's about. BFOP's about not having those inhibitions and not worrying about what other people think, because everyone's up there for the same reason. It's not it's just not a judgy place. And if you've not been there before, you won't believe me until you see it. But
just a couple of questions that have come up before we get to Saturday night with you, Matt. This one from Anne Richardson. Hi, is there anywhere over the event where you can get help with things such as how to do camera updates? Canon specific question. Or maybe Justin, you want to answer this one?
Yes. Canon are there and they will do everything that you need because they're awesome.
In fact,
all you
here's
do- yeah.
Jen Cooper's personal phone number. You can call her now. And,
Here's a home number.
I'll call her. I'll call her on the podcast. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get this firmware sorted out right now.
Yeah, but I think that question and the answer also rolls back to what we said earlier. There's going to be 500 plus people, photographers, amateurs, enthusiasts, pros. You're going to have all the leading brands there, and we'll get to that in a little bit more detail in a moment. But everyone is prepared to stop what they're doing and help you should you need it. So do not stress.
Canon specifically, I don't know what they're doing this year, but last year they had techs doing sensor cleans last year. It was a crazy setup. I don't know if they're doing that again, but they
don't think they've got sensor cleans.
No,
but they've got other stuff. Yeah.
But
Matt, do you want to talk about wristbands briefly because it's just relevant to this question?
Yeah, true. Hold on.
Oh, you can see.
Here's some I prepared earlier.
His bum.
Yeah, we saw you crack.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't wear pants I don't wear pants during these. They're restricting.
Everyone could
forward to
rewind and watch that later in slow
Looking
motion.
forward to the pajama party. That'll be good.
It's you know what? It's like a waistband it just stops the creativity from making it up to your brain. So
Where does it come
so
No, don't go there.
So
Don't go there.
We've got some different wristbands. We will give you information of these on check-in, so you don't need to think about it too hard now. But one of them, this is when you check in, you'll get given a wristband, or you get to choose one of three. One of them is I'm a beginner, but I love it. That would be green. So the thing is, if you wear this one, expect that people are going to kind of wrap around you and go, "Do you need help?" You know, like you need help. Everyone, or no one's going to come and ask you for help either, by the way. But it's really designed so that our instructors especially know in the group who they're talking to, so they can simplify things for those who are more beginners, and those who are more advanced can get the other. We also
I wear a green wristband for the weekend.
Me too,
Makes
mate.
it
which has nothing, and it's just not a joke either. That's just where he's at with his journey. The other one that no, it's not going to focus on. Of course, it won't, Sony. This one is I'm an enthusiast who can help a bit. So this is for the people who I would say the way I'd look at this is automatic mode and program mode, aperture priority, shutter priority. And then we have this last one, which is my camera is an extension of me and I can definitely help. This is your manual moders, or people who know cross platforms as well. If you know more about like lots of different brands, it's also helpful. But essentially, if you are a green, you can, wherever it went, you can almost certainly go and seek out a pink or a yellow to help you. If you're a pink, you can seek out a yellow to help you. And then, of course, all of our instructors and staff will have red ones, which basically say, if I can't help you, just don't tell anyone.
Please.
But
So,
people are really reluctant to walk up to all instructors and everyone else, and they're only there to help you. So just go and grab them, and they'll help.
Yeah.
Well,
But I would also say
get their attention
with the wristbands as well. One thing I would say is it's some advice. So Laura, my wife, and Nick's wife, Evelyn, do the check-ins each year. And the feedback they have for us every year about these wristbands is that everyone tries to undersell themselves as though they're, like need to be humble about it because someone cares. The reality is it's not about showing off where you're at. It's not about anything like that. It's about who you can help and who can help you. And so if you genuinely have had your camera for a couple of years and you kind of know a bit about your camera, you're not a beginner anymore. Beginners are the people in our eyes who are really genuinely pretty new to this whole thing. You're really not too sure how to get it, get your settings right or get off your auto mode or, it's not about kind of going, oh, look, there's people who are better than me. It's about going, this is where I'm at, because then you can be useful to people and people will also know where to pitch you to help.
Yeah. And just to be clear, Karen Lawler, it's your photography sort of ability and your knowledge, very much your knowledge of your camera and its settings, not whether this is a first year BFOP or 50 year BFOP or whatever. It's not relevant to that. It's more just how confident are you in your camera and its settings to be able to do it. If someone says, hey, put on these settings, are you, lost or comfortable or where are you at?
Yeah. So if someone said, hey, aperture priority mode, and you said, oh, shit, then you're probably not in that middle category. You're probably in the beginners category. If you are someone who they go, oh, we're doing, long exposure manual with ND filters, and you go, yeah, cool. That's probably the advance. So we have some descriptions. They'll be around the hall. You don't have to make the decision now. You can read all about it when we're up there.
Now, just a quick question from Tim Siamas. You spoke earlier about how Lauren, at check-in. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Can you check in anytime on Friday? Wasn't going to get there until after lunch, although missing Dennis world record attempt might have to head in earlier. What time can people check in from?
Yeah, so again, if you jump onto the Beyond the Workshops, it is listed on that page. BFOP is from registrations is from 10 a.m. until late. And of course, if you don't turn up on Friday, I know some people can't make it on Friday and you're going to come on Saturday morning, that's fine. We are usually there from about 8 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, the check-in guys are there for about 8 o'clock in the morning to help you out. So if you have a particular need...
If you're on a dawn workshop on Saturday and haven't been able to go on Friday, turn up to the dawn workshop. We'll sort it out later.
100%. Yeah, and I'll be there, or Nick will be there at the start of any one of those workshops, unless you're meeting on the mountain. So yeah, we'll be able to sort it out for you. But and if you're not too sure, if you go, I'm going to be on a dawn workshop, I don't think I'll make it on. That's fine. You know, feel free just to email us or something as well. Like, there's not going to be heaps of people in that situation. It'll be pretty unique.
Yep.
Just on check-in stuff that's related to not everybody, but just the people that have pre-ordered their BFOP camera straps that I've got sitting over there, and they look freaking awesome. We'll be there at registration time. Oh, nice, Nick. That's very nice. Yeah, we'll be there at registration time on Friday, but we'll be around all weekend. So I'll either be hanging out near where our straps are, which you'll see us, but if not, I'll hang up like a gone shooting sign that'll have my phone number on it if you're trying to track down your camera strap that you've pre-ordered.
So. Can I have 30 seconds on this, which is take the time. If you haven't already ordered one, you're probably are they too late now if you haven't ordered one, Justin?
To get a BFOP logo on it, yes, probably. Yes. The factory will kill me if I don't. Yes, it's too late. But we can always either do it later. You could get
for the right price.
For the right price, we could make it happen 100%. Or obviously we'll have straps there on site that you can try and play with and sell.
That's where I was going. Like these things are mega. I don't use a strap very often, but like you totally converted me, and it's a thing of beauty, and it's made in Australia, and we're supporting some people who support photography in Australia, and like for what it is, it's value. So pop by, have a look at the straps, and order 10 or 15 of them.
At least 10
and as Justin said, we're going to have some demo straps there. So if you want to test it out, maybe throw a strap on, use it at a workshop, or go for a walk. We're on.
I heard that too, Justin. Yeah.
I was okay. Moving on.
You said I thought you said that was okay.
No, demo straps are totally okay. If you want to have a play with one and see if it suits your
I'm
gear.
just giving
and the way
away
that you shoot.
stuff.
That wasn't what we heard.
Straps for
never mind.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch this after I see Matt's butt crack in slow motion. I'll go back and listen to what I said. All right. There is another question from the first timer.
I've just realised what he said. Oh, Jesus.
Anyway,
this is a good question.
This is a good question. Easter158. Thank you for the distraction. Hi there, first time BFOPper here. G'day. I'm out late at workshops both Friday and Saturday night. Are the prize giveaways you've mentioned on the website only on those nights?
Did we mention prize giveaways? I don't think we've mentioned prize giveaways, have we?
Somewhere I saw it.
I reckon I've seen it somewhere, but not.
I think I saw it on the
stuffed up then. So I will say, in terms of prizes, I think if I was to guess off the top of my head, I think we've got about $50,000 to $60,000 worth of prizes, which if you average it out, it means everyone sort of works away with $100, which is pretty nuts.
Is that how
obviously
it'll
it's
work?
not how it pans out. No, it's basically like, one person wins $50,000 and then the rest is split. But no, but there are tons of opportunities to win prizes throughout the weekend. So our suggestion for this is firstly, there's a couple of brands that will be running independent competitions. So when you go to BFOP HQ, the brands have got stands like a trade show type thing. And I know Olympus has already launched their competition. They posted on the Facebook groupies, but of course you better enter all weekend. Canon will have another competition on their stand, giving away quite a serious camera kit. And I think Pixel One has got another competition as well. There's a few of them kicking around. And then there's tons of prizes that we give away on stage, but that happens at the sign-in. That happens at the nights. That happens sometimes just like randomly. And so the aim of the game here is like turn up to stuff, you know, and statistically speaking, you've got way better odds of walking away with something bloody amazing than what you'd have anywhere else in the world, really. It's actually kind of ridiculous.
And enter stuff.
Yes.
Like sometimes there'll be a $5,000 camera and they'll only have 25 entries.
Insane.
Nuts.
Yeah. It is crazy. So
that is crazy.
But I will say one thing to add to that as well is that if you've been to BFOP before, you already know this. Those who are new are probably going to be thinking, "Oh, but I could never win that because I'm not very good." I can tell you now that 90% of things that we give away at BFOP are nothing to do with skill. The skill competitions are ones that are usually from the brands. We don't have any skill ourselves, so we don't expect you to either. We just give prizes away for stuff. So it's really about involvement. It's not about being good at anything in particular. So don't feel like you're going to be excluded because you're not amazing or professional. It is entirely a luck game at BFOP.
Someone won a $5,000 camera simply because they were prepared to smash their existing camera with a sledgehammer.
It wasn't prepared. They walked away with $9,000 in the end because it was a $7,000 camera kit, and then they threw in a $2,000 lens voucher. I think it was.
Yep.
It was nuts.
They actually smashed their camera, but yeah.
But still, that's a pretty good deal.
Yelena has a message here I have to read out because she brought me brisket while we were on the podcast. She says, Justin is packing almost everything, but if there is something in particular you would like to strap on or slide your hands into, gloves, that is, we do the winter photography gloves, email orders@luckystraps.com.au and let us know what you would like to us to bring across.
So to be clear, that's where you would email if you want to try a strap on.
Correct.
Stop it.
Also,
you started it.
Glenn Lavender's giving away a ticket on one of his tours. The price to enter is the price of the tour. And then you win. And then you win. It's a great.
But he will buy you a beverage, which is pretty good.
I did see a comment. Someone asking when is Tom Putt's workshop going to go up for booking?
I think that'll be 2028 at this stage. Yeah.
Such a disappointment. Such a disappointment. All right, Matt, tell us about Saturday Night Shenanigans. What's going on?
So for those who have not been to BFOP before, Saturday Night Shenanigans is a very, very infamous night. It is the night where you can let your hair down and just totally be a child. Every year it is probably the biggest hit. It is one thing that separates BFOP out from every other event, festival, gathering. It is just pure adults having joyful fun, doing stupid things. Shenanigans night is all about getting involved. This is where the vast majority of prizes are given away. Essentially, if you jump onto the Beyond the Workshops thing, you'll see the kind of the listings for the night. But essentially, on the Saturday night, from the main stage, we are going to have a really cool thing from 6 o'clock. We've got the Tin Type Man, who's got Longeron. Anyway,
Scotty.
So Nick knows Scott pretty well, has seen this before. Do you want to talk through what this is? Because on the website, I couldn't describe this properly. I called it "A Photo is Born. See a wet plate come to life."
Ooh. Yeah, like this was brilliant. Scotty he'd emailed saying, "I've got the world's biggest camera. I've got the biggest camera in Australia and like to come along." And I was involved with a group who were recreating the Burke and Willis expedition. And I said, well, come along and photograph them. And I got to see him do it with his small camera. But this is kind of a wet plate photography. So he creates a wet plate. He takes a photo on this sort of 150-year-old camera. And then you have the joy of him. Like it's almost like magic. He takes what is a negative image coming out of the camera and he washes it in his magic fluid and it turns into into a positive image in front of you, but it's the final positive image, and this image is huge. And it
whilst
creates.
whilst he's washing it, has he got a strap on? with his magical fluid? Is that the? This is going downhill, mate. It's.
But like, and the other thing is, this doesn't take a photograph in the frequency of light we see. It's like a UV frequency. So like the face looks completely different. So anyway, it's a magic thing. It's a 150-year-old camera. It's just really, really something special. And he's going to take a photo of me over the weekend. And it's like $200 a shot as well to create this shot.
So he'll have the hat out at the front, and you can leave your tip in the jar. But he will be dressed in leather with rubber gloves and playing with cyanide. So be nice to him.
We'll get him a strap on. Don't you worry.
How many frames a second does it do, Scott?
Does it have ibis?
It doesn't have ibis. Bruce Moyle says, "I'm willing to do a Ned Kelly cosplay for him if someone gives me the costume."
Bruce, you would be the most amazing model for it. It would be brilliant. And
what do you mean costume, Bruce? Like,
he just slightly combs his hair and he's like, done.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm now in character.
Oh God!
But this is what I love about BFOP is like people like Scott come out of the undergrowth, and then we just get this magic.
Yeah,
that's not a bad. That's a good frame rate. 1 frame every 15 minutes. That's like it's like Fujifilm speed.
Don't you?
So anyway, that's happening at 6 o'clock until 7 o'clock. We then have a daily recap, which is just kind of us going through what's happened and things that are happening and going on. But from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock, we have our shenanigans. Now this year we have, because we know we've left the costume aspect of this a little bit late, we have announced already, if you haven't seen it, that this year's theme is a pajama party. So it is time to don the moccasins, don the pajamas. If you don't generally sleep in pajamas, I would probably suggest, given the police presence in Bright, you might want to find some down at Target or something like that.
Yeah. And if anyone's going to Target, please can they get some for Justin, because he has no idea how to shop without it being online.
Where do you buy pajamas these days?
He's on Amazon right now. I bet.
Literally anywhere.
I'm just trying to find. Hang on, let me share my screen. I just wanted to bring this up because this was quite beautiful. Yeah. So I want to look like this, but I don't know where to go.
They look like toddlers.
Let me tell you, I went op shopping at the weekend, and it cost you about $2 to get a 1940s 90.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, I need a 90. You're right. Yeah.
Or one of those night shirts with the floppy hat,
Well, that's what I wanted. And then I was like, where do you buy those floppy hats? And then there was pajama costumes that cost $80, and I'm like, I'm not buying a pajama costume. I just want pajamas.
Op shop's your friend.
Op shop.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll definitely have that. We will have we'll have some other goodies going on there, but it is a night of it's basically like sitting at home on the couch watching the telly. We have a night full of stage games for everyone to get involved in. I'm not going to go into the games because that's part of the fun, but as I said, we have so many prizes. It is ridiculous. Normally at the end of the night, we just get to the point where we have to throw prizes out at people because we just can't give them all away. That will go until about 10 o'clock. But it really, I can just say right now, there's going to be a couple of things we're going to ask you to bring that night. You won't find out about them now. You'll find out about them on Friday night. We'll put them up on the Facebook group too. But if you don't bring I have
no idea what you're talking about, Matt.
I know. And if you do and if you do not dress in your pajamas, you will not be eligible for the stage games, which is where all the prizes are given away.
Ooh.
So, get involved, bring a teddy if you want. We'll have the bar open. We'll have some little snacky bobs going about. It's a pajama party, a classic pajama party. But with just 600 adults.
We played a game a few years ago where it was sort of recreating an Instagram photo, and one of the participants really, really got into it, and the team didn't win, but she walked away with $1,000 tripod, as I remember. Just because we were just like, oh my God, you're so BFOP, you need this $1,000 tripod.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have too many prizes to give away and not enough ways to give them away, put it that way. So it becomes a bit of an Oprah Winfrey at some points in that night. So just get involved. Come along, get involved. But you will need to bring your camera, as always. You won't really need it a lot, but we do need your camera there. We'll tell you a couple other goodies that you need to bring as well. And but get involved. You know, we'll have a photo wall as well. I think Canon's doing a photo wall, you know, so you can get some memory shots with all your mates all dressed in pajamas. Because when was the last time you went to a genuine pajama party? Probably never.
Yeah.
It's
And
gonna
not the
be
sort where
fun.
you put the keys in the bowl, yeah?
No, that's a
No,
different
exactly.
one.
That's
Yeah,
exactly that.
that's the after. That's the
okay.
after dark version. That one kicks off at 10:30 and yeah, goes through the bus ride the next day.
Oof. Very good. All right. So as everyone's heard, we've got a couple of nights of activities. We've got some teasers, we've got some info, but there's still more to come. So make sure you stay tuned to the BFOP Groupies Facebook page. That's always the best place to get the latest news and happenings on everything that's taking place for BFOP 2025. Let's talk about Gear for Geeks. So often when we do these sorts of things, whether it be we run a workshop or we have an event or we have a BFOP festival, people are naturally asking the question, do I need to bring a tripod? What lenses should I bring? So I guess in your words, Matt or Nick, what is your best advice to people about what to bring for BFOP?
Matt, you go. You're the more professional on this.
So I would say that the short answer to that is that if there's really specific equipment that's needed, it should be listed on the workshop page. Now, that said, our instructors are often pretty shit at doing things when we ask them to. So often they will just be like, oh, people, of course, they'll remember, will know to bring that. So if you're not sure, the best thing to do is to jump on the Facebook Groupies page and tag the instructor in your question. The second thing is to also just use your common sense. So as an example, if you're doing a landscape workshop, for instance, where you're going to be on top of a mountain for sunrise or sunset, do you need a tripod? Probably not a bad idea. Do you want a wide angle lens? Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Do you want a long zoom to get the compression shots? Probably a good idea. So I would also kind of say, like, sometimes just having your bag with you with like a bunch of your lenses and not just trying to guess what one lens you think you'll need. I know that a lot of people like doing that because it's too heavy to carry around. Maybe jettison some of the, you know, if you're doing a landscape workshop, you probably don't need your wide aperture portrait lens, for instance, you know, your 50 mil. Yeah. But to think a bit logically about it and bring a variety, because often one of the joys of BFOP is you'll walk away going, oh my God, I bought this lens ages ago, or I bought this lens from, you know, Camera House 10 minutes ago, and I never knew that I could apply it to this situation. And I think the typical one is when people do landscapes, especially, they're always surprised at the lenses that the instructors tell them to pull out. So I would kind of encourage you to just hack out the fact that your bag's a little heavy. Very few of them you're walking really far, and the ones you are walking far, you know it because it's written on the website. And be prepared, because there's nothing worse than getting there and realizing, oh, I didn't think I'd need this, or I took a guess. Yeah. But if you're going on a portrait workshop, for instance, you probably don't need your 600 millimeter wildlife lens. And if you're doing a wildlife workshop with me or Alex, you probably don't need to bring your wide angle lens. You know, you can be pretty logical. Although that said, I've seen some amazing wildlife shots at the deer farm with super wide lenses. So yeah, it kind of is just to bring it all. The only one that's really specific I would call out is if you're on a workshop that requires flash. So I know Carl's got a workshop which is like, so you bought a flash. We do have 12 flashes in the BFOP kit, and we have Godox triggers for most cameras. The exception to that at the moment, which I have to follow up on, is Canon. Thank you. Canon has just released a dumb upgrade to their hot shoe, which is a 21-pin flash hot shoe, and no one makes a flash for it yet. So you need to buy an adapter for $75 to use a flash. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Look up the Canon R50 hot shoe. It's just ridiculous. Anyway,
only on the R50.
Canon, we love you.
I mean, that stupid camera also doesn't fit any camera strap that's made. So
yeah. Well, you need an adapter. That's why.
You need a hot shoe adapter for your camera straps as well.
Couple of follow-ups on the equipment stuff. If you turn up and you're just puzzled, then grab an instructor, and they might not know, but they'll point you in the right direction, and we'll get to the instructor who'll tell you what to bring. If you are super interested in, and I often see this on the sports workshops, super interested in trying something like, oh, I really want to try, you're in Nikon and you've got a Z61 and you go, I'd love to try like a sports body, then whether it's Canon, Nikon, Fuji, or any of them, they will give you a sports body to use for that workshop. And if you want to use it, then that's super brilliant. Same for the lenses, and just use it as an opportunity if you want to go and do that. But as far as what you put in your car, I would just put in every lens you own in your car, and then sort of throw stuff out of your bag for each of the workshops you're doing.
Yep.
That's on that,
I
think
I mentioned, bringing everything with, unless you're flying or something, like bring everything with you, but don't necessarily take everything to each workshop. And then paring that down even further, my final piece of advice would be, for things like the shenanigans or the after dark, unless you really want to experiment with multiple lenses, those are a great opportunity to just take one lens, probably a prime, and just enjoy that. But that's up to you. I don't know. No, I might be wrong this year. That was based on last year. I might be wrong because Matt's making faces. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Friday night's the one where you might want to do something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might want
Friday
to bring
night
the
will
whole
probably have
bag.
a few options.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, it's like, it's pretty logical, like just honestly use your logic. And if you've got questions, by all means, come and find one of us and ask when you're up there.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
But if you do have a flash workshop, or you're on a workshop that requires flashes, we do have Godox triggers. They'll be shared around, obviously, because the whole system is a shared system. But also, as Nick said, I think last year Canon and Nikon did about 200 lens loans each over the 3 days. And this year they've got even more gear up there, and obviously so do the other brands, OM Systems, Fuji, Leica, Blonde Robot's got Tamron gear, CR Kennedy's have got Sigma gear. It's like everyone, Sony's up there, everyone's got the gear, so you can borrow that stuff. But also Camera House will have ridiculous sales. I've seen a few hints of those sales that have come through the inbox. This will be the cheapest you can buy equipment all year.
Yeah,
like by far the cheapest, and we should have those launched on the website by the end of the weekend.
And the crazy thing is, like you said, you can actually test it first. That's what's epic. You can take a lens on a workshop and then be like, "This is great. How much is it?" And they go, "Here's the best deal you'll get all year." Like it doesn't. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. Just before we do jump into a bit more detail about the brands and stands. Just a couple of other things around, they're common sense things, but often we chuck all our gear in the car and forget about looking after ourselves. So if you are doing a workshop that requires walking or perhaps going up a mountain, appropriate footwear. If it's sunny, hat, sun cream, make sure you've got water, make sure you stay hydrated, make sure you just do a little bit of self-care as well as looking after your gear. Really important to have a great weekend. The last thing you want is to wind up in bed on Saturday because you got sunburnt on Friday at a workshop.
Can I pick this one up, Greg? Just because it's the thing. It's the thing that keeps me awake probably more than anyone. Like we particularly on places like Mount Buffalo and Hotham, we sort of sometimes take people a long way out of their comfort zone, and it can very often be well below freezing once you put in wind chill for people on those workshops. So do not come to Bright going, well, I'm sort of, Melbourne in the morning, it's going to be 10 degrees. It could well be below freezing and you're out there for 2 hours, well away from a bus. So you need to come assuming it's going to be polar conditions and dress appropriately. We may get lucky with the weather. But almost every time we've done this, one of the mornings has been effectively below freezing on the mountain. So come expecting that. And you're not in a bus or anything else. You're out in the wild. So come dressed for that. It could be absolutely smashing down with rain. Our wet weather plan generally is you get wet, right? Because the best shots occur in these like wild conditions. So we're just going to go out and take those photos. Yeah. And we're assuming that your bag's in a waterproof container, you've got an umbrella, you're appropriately dressed. So you just come assuming that it's going to be horrendous. If you're doing a dawn workshop or an evening workshop, bring a head torch. Like we're not providing head torches for you. Bring a head torch or a torch. Yep. So you've got to be approached for that. And we've been very clear on the workshops where there's a bit of physicality involved. And sometimes people underestimate that. If we say there's a decent walk with a bit of elevation gain, people come undone. And if you turn up and go, oh, I've got myself in a bit of trouble here, I'd much rather you turned around, went back to your car, and went back to the bus, and we'll sort you out from a workshop sort of credit point of view, rather than you go up to the cathedral, you die there, and we have to get a helicopter in. So, what we want is everyone have a wonderful time, no one to die, turn up appropriately equipped. And if you realize, oh my God, I'm out of my depth, then we'll sort that out.
Yep.
Matt, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's exactly right. I think that the key to this is that, when you've got that many people involved, we can't babysit everyone's needs, and we also don't want to underestimate people. Sometimes we don't want to be the people to go, oh, are you really up to this? That you're your own person. So if you ever run into problems, I think you've got to be so aware that this is not one of those festivals where we're going to turn around and hold you to some sort of policy and go, oh, you said you could do it, and rah, and there's no nothing we can do for you. We'll sort it out. That's the joy of this festival. It's a very community driven thing. So speak up, because if we don't speak up, we won't know.
Yep.
The other one that I've got is, just quickly on that note, is that we do have the BFOP waiver, which is now live on the portal. I've just tried to post a link in the comments, but of course, because it's a link, I got rejected, which is sad. But anyway, the waiver is really important to be done before you get there, and it kind of falls into this safety category as well. So if you haven't done it already, just click through, do it now. Go on the BFOP website, the portal, click the waiver, fill it out. It's super fast, and then you're done. You'll get a QR code that you can present at check-in, and you'll be smooth sailing.
Hang on, you got rejected trying to put it in the live chat on here.
I did,
Did you say? Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
like
it doesn't like links.
people like you putting links on there in case they're spam. But I can put it in there if I can get it. I'm just trying to find it. But
People
I'll see
like
if I can
you,
track it
what's
down.
that supposed to mean?
non-professional podcasters, it knows.
Oh, right.
It knows.
It does.
Now, very quickly, just a quick plug. Craig Murphy says, pack for any weather. If you find yourself at BFOP and you haven't packed for any weather, we will have the whole range of Valorat winter photography gear, which is designed in Norway. Gloves with little flip-off fingers, glove liners made from nice merino stuff, merino neck warmers, merino beanies, merino socks. Everything to keep you warm for the coldest weather. And they'll be on a crazy deal that we never, ever, ever do, which is 20% off. So,
and we're also going to have some Lucky Straps apparel.
Secret code. Secret code.
Is that right, Jay? I don't want to commit you to anything.
We'll have hoodies. We will have super, super, super warm hoodies too.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you end up cold and you've underpacked, come and see us. Or if you just like cool stuff, come and see us.
Yeah. Or just come see us.
I can put that link in there, Matt. If I can, can I get that off the website, or would you have to email it?
Yeah, if you go into the portal, I'll probably got to email it to you. I'll email it to you.
I can't get into the
Yeah, we don't have portal access.
We're not, we're podcasters, not.
Yeah.
What are you guys called? Festivalers.
Professional website developers.
That's right.
Let's just. We've already talked a lot about the brands and the stands. Who's going to be at HQ? Can we just have a recap of who we can expect to see and any other retailers that will be there?
Matt.
Yeah. So we've got obviously Camera House is our major sponsor this year, as they should be. They coordinate so much of that retail space. So the whole team at Camera House with amazing deals. We have got the team from Nikon who have been there since day one. We have got Canon, who were newcomers last year, but they've really gone all out again this year. We've got OM Systems, we've got Fuji, we've got Blonde Robot, Sony, we've got Leica, we've got Pixel One. We've got the boys from CR Kennedy's up there. They're not officially with a stand, but they will have DJI and stuff like that gear. We've got the boys from Holyland will be there. Probably not overly relevant to most of you, but Holyland, if you know, they make mics and all sorts of weird stuff.
OWC?
We have also... No, they're not up there this year.
Oh, right. Not AWC.
No, OWC. But yeah, there's tons and tons and tons. And so a lot of those manufacturers, if you don't know who Pixel One are, they do Leo Photo and Nissi, as well as some of the other cool, those kind of accessories. So we've got tons and tons and tons up there, but Camera House will have ridiculous sales on. The boys from KL will be there. They've got some interesting sales with printers and things like that as well. Canon's going to have printers up there. It's everything. It's like going to one of those Japanese department stores of photography.
I'm pretty
Peak
sure
Design are
Canon
going to be there
bringing-
as well.
Canon
And
are
Lauer?
bringing.
Yeah,
just
they fall
quickly, the
under Blonde Robot.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Canon are bringing the Pro 1100s, I think. I'm pretty sure, which is what I just got. I've been printing out of it like crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I think they are. That's the word on the street.
I have no idea. I don't know. They've got a
I'm
printer
pretty
of some description. So, but yeah, so the retail part of that, or the exhibition part, is really good. I think more so than anything, the gear loans are amazing, but also it is such a good opportunity because it's not just the rep staff up there. The brands have one of their technical people too, so you can really get deep into some of the guts of your camera, and people will genuinely just sit down and help you out with stuff. It's not like it's not a confronting space. It's a really, really casual environment, which is nice.
And I've just seen Anne Richardson asked about photographic papers. Grab Karen
Dobia,
who's up there, and
That's
she
the-
works with.
That's
go.
print papers.
Yeah.
That's print papers. Do you mean print or film paper? Because film developing papers, that'll be C.R. Kennedy's is up there, so they might be something in that realm. But that's less likely. The guys from yeah. So there's but yeah, there will be things. So there'll be Canson stuff. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Print. Yeah. So there'll be Canson stuff there from the KL guys.
Okay.
Justin.
Justin.
Yes. Saw 6-inch leather something, and I got.
Yeah, I saw
confused.
6-inch something.
Yeah.
Is that a beard?
Oh, he gets dinner brought to him, drinks.
But what I would say
she's
is,
the best.
like, if you're interested in anything, just grab someone. So I was talking to the Leica guys, and like most people have never used a rangefinder, autofocus, not manual focus camera. Just go and grab the guys and say, "Hey, can I play around with an M11?" And walk off with $20,000 of camera and have a play. They're delighted to get you to do that.
Will they really do that?
Yeah,
It's
of
not-
course they will.
I thought it would be like
Oh,
glass cabinet. Hang on.
No, definitely not glass cabinet.
Like white gloves, don't touchy.
No,
kind of,
crack on.
Oh, that's exciting.
They're the loosest of them all, I reckon.
That's very
Yeah.
exciting. Hey, we got
That's good
a
to
call
hear.
coming in. I don't know. Hello, caller. Can you hear me?
Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
Who's this?
it's Jim.
I know. That's why I thought it would be funny to
Ah.
ask you. This is Jim, the other
Hey, Jim.
Lucky Straps.
Oh,
person.
Jim. Is Jim coming
go.
to BFOP, or is he photographing a motorcycle event that I can't make?
So this is actually we'll ask him. But what I am aware of what's happening is he is coming to BFOP. Then he has a wedding on the Saturday of BFOP, so he's got to go back for that, and then do some stuff. And then me and him are actually photographing a motorcycle event that you can't do. I'm going straight from BFOP to there on Monday.
Oh my God.
Busy week.
Busy week. Oh, your voice sounds weird too, Jim. I think this roadcaster's strange. Anyway, do you have a question, caller?
No, I just saw the show, so I just thought I'd see.
Oh, I couldn't hear any of that. But
Justin, I think what he was trying to say is he heard you struggling and just thought he'd call in and try and help the situation.
struggling.
usually what happens.
I feel like I'm doing great. I mean,
very good.
this very might be the first ever live photography call-in podcast on the internet.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
we're-
And
Hey,
it's going so well.
Justin, while we've got
Yeah.
Jim on the line, should we let everyone know what we've got planned for BFOP 2025 as Lucky Straps and the Camera Life podcast? We'll just give everyone a bit of a recap.
yeah, for sure. Jim, what are we doing?
Bringing lots of camera straps.
Uh-huh.
I
Yes.
think we're running some podcasts.
Yes.
We're going to bring some merch.
Yes.
Indeed.
Going to bring random things like mouse pads, cable ties, belts, gloves.
We could
Ooh,
dress
and you-
everyone fully.
Jim's actually been. I'm pretty sure he's going to be trawling through. We've got like this box of super weird stuff that's just been made over the years. That's never gone on the website. They're one-offs. We're like testing out colors, or maybe the stitching just went, slightly on the wrong direction, or something like that. And we're thinking about bringing those up and just selling them real cheap. So that could happen too.
Yeah, we're going to bring a box of fun stuff.
Yeah, that sounds wrong.
to go with my strap-ons.
Yeah, let's move on.
So every morning that we are in Bright for BFOP, we're going to be hosting a live morning podcast. That's
plan.
right. You can wake up with the Camera Life podcast and the team from Lucky Straps and hear all about what's on the cards for the day ahead, what we experienced the day before, and any other news and bits and pieces that need to be shared. So make sure that you like this video. It certainly helps us out a lot. Subscribe and hit the bell notification after you've subscribed, and that way you'll get notified in your time zone of when each of our podcasts, whether they're at BFOP or otherwise, are about to go live. But
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, Justin, are you going to come and shoot some BMX with me?
Yes, so this is the only thing. Like Greg and I got to kind of figure out where to go when, so someone can always kind of be around HQ and while Jim's. Are you doing one on Friday?
No, Saturday, Sunday.
Because Jim's not there Saturday. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I'd love to get out there and watch that happen. That'd be fun. Steal a big camera off Canon.
yeah, because you don't have a big enough camera.
No, never. There's always one bigger.
One from Nikon.
No, I won't.
And moving on.
You're gonna borrow anything from Nikon?
You got dissed.
All right, we'll keep the show rolling, Jimbo. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll let you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Monica
Cool.
has a question for us.
I know, and I swear I replied to this, Monica, unless I didn't hit send properly or something like
Sorry,
that.
Monica. He's a bit sloppy sometimes.
I was actually sure. I was so sure that I'm looking through, seeing if I can confirm my reply. But it's a black strap. It's not blue. It's just whether it's just my terrible photographic skills. Some leather has a blue base, but it's black. But it's like it's like anything. Like it's not black. It's blue black, but it is black. So there's a non-answer for you. So that, it's exactly the same color as the one Nick's holding up.
Yep.
Actually, Nick, if you just change your white balance though, just put it onto our incandescent white balance, and that'll fix it up nicely.
Knob.
We're almost through our list, guys. We've just got a couple more topics to cover off. I do have a question for Nick. He emailed the other day saying, make sure you ask me about this. So, Nick, what is the nerd room? And who is the guy wearing a white coat and thick glasses?
I know I didn't say that. I know that was Matt saying to ask Nick because I didn't know anything about it. So
that's a classic stitch up.
Is someone keeping tally on this? Yeah.
Matt, tell us about the nerd room.
So throughout the weekend, we've got the main stage, which has got all of our instructors, or a lot of our instructors presenting on there. We're kind of saying this year there's been a bit of a change. The main stage is, we call it now the touchy-feely, cuddly stage, where it's sort of topics that are soft topics. You know, this is more about the art side of things, or people's, personal projects, or the more creative side of stuff. And then we also realised from the last few years, just chatting to people, that there's a lot of photographers who come to BFOP who, whilst you enjoy that, I think sometimes you lack, or you feel like we lack the technical side of things. So the more like hardcore topics or really pointy topics. And so this year we spoke to the brands, and they thought it was a good idea as well. So we've actually started a new stage, which is downstairs under the main stage. It's a very small space. So it's not designed for massive groups, but it's called the Nerd Room. And it is basically more of a technical topics stage. So this is where Canon's going to get up, and they've got a whole presentation on their auto-focusing systems and the new tech they're putting into that. We've got OM Systems doing a presentation on how computational photography is being applied into photography these days. I'm doing a presentation there on how to choose a lens you'll actually use by looking at your own data. So there's all these kind of like topics that are a bit more technical, but we do realize that that's scary as well. So the Nerd Room downstairs, as an admission into that, will require you to don a lab coat and nerd glasses to make sure that we break the ice and that no one feels that they're out of their depth. We need to be technical, but can have a giggle at the same time. So
sounds cool.
The Nerd Room is our second presentation stage for those who want to, hear something a bit more techie.
Yeah. I think that's cool. And so, speaking of the main stage, and this is the next topic that I wanted to cover off with you guys. So, who can we expect to see doing prezos on the main stage?
Oh, of course, you wouldn't have seen this, would you? So, because this is all behind in the portal, so it is currently all up on the Beyond the Workshops bit. I can tell you now just a really quick run through on it. We've got Dennis Smith doing the world record attempt. Then we have Glenn Lavender doing the Infinite Monkey Theorem, a guide to better travel portraits. We have got The Heart of the Image, Building Community with Adam Edwards. We've got My Street View with Adrian Weir. We have got, that's the Friday. Saturday, we have got Simplify the Chaos with Jeff Freestone, Travel Photography Tips with Jen Cooper from Canon, Landscape of the Victorian Alpine Region from Mika. We've got Get to Know Computational, sorry, that's the Nerd Room. Infinite Monkey Theorem again from Glenn. Get Creative with Modern RGB Lighting, so the light equals the mood with Daniel from Sarah Kennedy's.
Ooh.
A Life on Skis from Charlie Brown. The Magic of Photography, Alex Cairns. Apparently that's a really, really good presentation. The Creative Diet, which was super popular last year. Joel Alston's presenting that at 5 o'clock on the Saturday. That was really, really punchy, had a big impact. And then on Sunday, we've got One Shot Wonder, Brendan Waits. We've got Behind the Lens. No, that's a different room. What's the Point of Portraits with Louise Sedgman. Can Photography Save a Life with Dennis Smith. And yeah, then the Nerd Room's got a bunch of them as well. But if you jump on the website, you can see them all listed there with their timings. They're likely going to change a little bit because we always stuff it up. But and there'll be some more added. There's a few time slots still spare. We're just hassling people at the moment.
Yeah. So, and I guess the takeaway from all of this is that, if you're in between workshops or you've finished your workshops for the day, grab yourself a coffee from the coffee cart, grab yourself a bite to eat from the food van, head in and sit down and watch a presentation, learn something, get to understand more about the craft that we all love and share.
Well, just more generally, if you haven't been to BFOP before, you've got all of the camera manufacturers there with stuff, and they're always happy to talk about almost anything. And then you've got a whole lot of instructors just wandering around, just feeling unloved. So just go and talk to them. It's super easy just to go and get advice or anything you want around that area with a beer in your hand.
Very cool. And just the last thing I wanted to bring up tonight is that we mentioned this earlier when we were talking about the police operation in Bright, that the local communities had a pretty rough few weeks, a lot of uncertainty. I was talking to Matt and Mika the other night, and they talked about how for a little while there they were in lockdown because of the situation. So that the people and the businesses and the locals of Bright and the surrounding areas have had a pretty rough time, to say the least. So what sort of things can we do as participants at BFOP just to, not add to that load?
Oh, look, I mean, I think sort of everyone there just wants to see more visitors in town. I think no one's being particularly anxious. Turn up a day early and go out for dinner. That's probably the best advice I've got.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful piece of advice.
I think the other one.
Go on, Matt, sorry.
No, I was just going to point out Mark Slater's comment on the other. You've already pulled it up. There you go. You've already done that one. I think that, this is, again, a bit what we said at the very beginning with where we're at with the national park opening. I think it's just so important that whilst it's easy to make light of something, to kind of break the ice on what is a big topic. But I think it's really, really important to remember that this is not just something that you saw on the news. You are going to a place that was deeply affected, as Nick said. There were people from that community that you will be in amongst, and so I sort of suggest almost that our presence up there is, we're there to support the community. We're there to bring that tourism back in, and I think the best thing that we can do as a BFOP community is essentially come and bring the joy, and let's not let that, let's not give it oxygen. It doesn't, the guy doesn't need oxygen. Mentioning his name does no one any favors. It's just not, it's not deserved. And so let's just, go there and be our festival and make sure that we help the community just by being there and contributing to their economy, contributing to the joy, the fun, running down the street, and your light up costumes will make people smile. And that's more important than anything else you can do.
Yeah.
We should also, before we sign off, talk about some of the workshops that still got spots that are kind of super cool. I don't know whether you want to do that, or
You're
Well,
still struggling to fill yours up, Nick?
There is a couple of spots. No.
Comments from the super coach. It was lovely.
Couldn't
And
help
just
it.
remind me,
Couldn't
who
help
do
it.
we need? Who do
I
we
can
email
cover
if we
this
wanna
one,
try
yeah.
strap on?
Yeah, you crack on, Matt.
I got a custom one. I'm bringing up for you.
So I guess at the moment, if you go onto the booking page and you go down the bottom by availability, you can actually see how many are available. There are some workshops which are really lightly booked, and I think part of that is the timing of that, because we found everyone stupidly booked all their Friday stuff first and ran out of credit. What I would say is that you have an opportunity up there at BFOP, which is very rare, where we normally run these big group sessions. And so the value you can get there is a cap to that value, because you've got 20 people and one instructor, giving that information out. There are so many workshops where you can get on there with a small group, much like what you would if you paid for their actual workshop, and they're going to bring it all, and you get personalized attention. So I would be looking at workshops personally, not the ones that are really filled up going, oh, they must be popular. I'd be looking at the workshops that are really low bookings and go, hey, I've got an opportunity to get almost a private, with 3 or 4 people, workshop for a ridiculously, low cost. So definitely can jump on there and check that out. The ones that I think are really unusual, that are going to be really different and interesting, I think, would be look for the topics that are not your general comfort zone. Might seem illogical, but as an example, last year Ian Tan ran a cosplay workshop, and he's running it again this year. It's quite well booked, but last year it really was underbooked for the first couple, because I think people sort of said, I don't really know what cosplay is all about, which is kind of like people dressing up like cartoon characters or comic book characters and stuff. But once people went on the Friday night, everyone was like, oh my God, look at the shots that person got. And they filled up really quickly over the weekend. So I would actually go and look and think about what you could get out of them. And maybe try something you haven't tried before, and look for small groups, because that's the bargain. That's where the real value is going to come from.
I would say the one that's not very booked at the moment, which blew my mind, is Joel Alston's. He's doing like a Bruce Gilden,
that'll be tons of fun.
Yeah, what Joel does this, and Bruce Gilden, who's a very famous street photographer, does is they use a flash on top of the camera to create, with a wide angle lens, to create these like in your face portraits. And the reason why I love it is it's a super useful technique to use almost anywhere. It kind of creates really interesting portraits. It breaks that whole barrier of street photography. I have to go up and take some photograph, because the only way you can do it is to go up and shove a camera in someone's face. And they're going to do it in the middle of BFOP, where you've got like the world's most willing crowd. No one's going to be offended by getting a camera shoved in their face. So it's just going to be just a lovely environment to learn this technique with a guy who's super passionate about it. I think that'll be super fun.
Yeah. I think also, sorry, you go, Justin.
I was just going to say, if you're, so the workshops that Matt's talking about, if you can filter by the ones that are available and have lots of spots available, and if you're still not sure, because it is really hard to tell by the name of the workshop and some writing, don't forget that we did a ton of podcasts, short ones, 15 minutes long. If you haven't listened to them yet, they're all linked off the website, the BFOP official podcast. So just, even if you're not sure and you're still traveling or whatever, download a couple and have a listen to some of the people that still have workshops left, because it's also about what instructors that really captivate you when you hear them speak, as opposed to just what the topic is or what the name of the workshop is or whatever. It's the person delivering the workshop could be the thing that swings you. So yeah, try and dig a little deeper if you're not sure.
Yep.
It's also, on that note, just one thing to remember with these workshops too is, often I think people look at workshops from a surface level, because if you were booking a workshop outside of a festival like this, you would be really choosy about going, where am I going to invest my workshop dollars, right?
Yeah.
And I completely get that. For instance, if you were coming on one of my workshops and you weren't at all interested in, I don't know, street photography, well, you'd be stupid to sign up to the street photography one, because it's a niche topic that there's other things you could be doing. On BFOP though, what I think is really important is just the way that it's all structured and the way that we encourage our instructors to actually teach during the festival. What you will learn from one genre often applies straight across to a different genre. Like you're learning often a general kind of topic you can reapply. So I sort of think about, as an example, Emily Black's running a couple of workshops. One of them is called Let's Be Brief, and it's all about trying to work out with product photography how to actually read a brief and kind of produce a series of work around that brief. Now, you might kind of go, well, I don't do commercial stuff, so why would I be interested in doing that? But the reality is actually that's all about storytelling. It's about dissecting a scene and kind of going, how do I produce 3 or 4 different frames that help to tell the whole story of this one thing? So if you were, for instance, into, I don't know, plant photography or something, all you're doing is subbing out a product for a plant. You know, the same principles apply. Or if there's a portrait workshop and you're really into portraiture, well, that's great. You might learn about lighting and things, but there's other workshops that would have the lighting element, or, you know, for instance, you look at some of the photo walks, Mika's got one and Jeff Freestone's got one, and they all look at, you know, when you're on a photo walk, how do you find those natural light situations that really work with a subject? And it's like, if you substitute that plant with a person's face and you sit them in that situation, you can repurpose all that knowledge. So don't be closed-minded around how you get something out of a workshop. Just because you might not be interested in the actual photograph that you take as the end product, the learning of how you get there is really the important bit with this stuff.
Plus, you'll meet new people. You'll get to know more people in the BFOP community, and who knows, you might make some lifelong mates from it. So it's certainly worth, like we said earlier, just lean into the uncomfortable a little and give it a crack. And you know, there's only positive to come from it.
Angela Lerm has a comment here. There's just not enough time to do all the workshops that look good. Do you guys have some sort of like time machine wristband upgrade or something like that that allows you to do more workshops in the time that there is available? Okay, that's a no.
That is a no.
That's it. Sorry, that was it.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I think with that, the thing I would say is, firstly, you're up there, you've got an opportunity. You know, there's lots of time in a day. We run workshops from like crackers through to the evening. The second thing is that, you know, generally speaking at BFOP, we try to run workshops for a couple of years in a row as well for the new ones, just because we know that people don't always get on it the first year. And of course, sometimes it's like, you know, as Nick said with the Bruce Gilden one, I suspect that people are going to kind of get to the end of the festival and be like, oh my God, look at the photos they got and look how much bravery they had. And oh my God, it wasn't that scary. And then they're going to want to do it after the fact. And so we often try and carry those workshops across for another year. So I guess the time travel part is, can you travel in time to next year? Yes, you can. It just takes ages. And that would be the opportunity then. Yeah.
Well played. That's I didn't expect it. I thought you were just going to be like, no, don't be stupid. That's a great answer. Scott Longdon says, shh, don't promote Joel's workshop. I'm going to it. So yeah, we don't.
Well,
it's just going to be him and Joel and Scott.
How are you going to use that wet plate machine with a freaking in your face like flash?
Well, he's got 4,800 watt seconds of flash on that thing.
Oh.
Jeez. You have a team of 5 people carrying it around.
Oh God, I could love it. The person who's getting their photograph taken is going to look like a piece of fried calamari after they get their portrait taken.
Yeah, you're like a Tom and Jerry episode where their face is blown back.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Can I just throw one particular workshop out there that I'm really, really surprised is not totally full. It's actually very well booked, but it's not totally full. Kim Vullings, she's always been really popular for her shibari workshops. This year she's doing something different, which she actually experimented with last year. It's a nude projection workshop. So it's models. We've got both male and female models in that workshop. For those who are thinking, oh, it's just going to be like a, you know, creepy people looking at naked people. We always make sure that we try and balance that by going, you know, we've got both genders, or males and females in that.
You can be creepy in whichever direction you would like.
You can be creepy in whatever direction you want. That's right. But essentially, she's using like colored and colorful and geometric projections. And of course, when you wrap geometric colored projections around like a human body, which is obviously not very geometrical, you get these really interesting and beautiful shots. And some of the best photos I saw from last year came out of the experimenting that they did during that workshop. And so she's running those on the Saturday, and there's a couple of them, we've got quite a few spots left. They're well booked, but I'm really surprised that one wasn't just snapped up.
And Kim's just beautiful at making people feel comfortable about what you're doing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's not,
she's not
like there's a whole lot of discussion around consent. If you've been like, I'd love to do this, but it feels a bit creepy, that won't feel creepy.
No. And you know what, that's actually even a reason to do it, to be honest, is I think that in terms of breaking out of your comfort zone, this is probably something that you will never get an opportunity to do any other time in your photography life. And so take the opportunity to know that you're in a safe place to do it with people who, she's so deeply entrenched in that community and knows exactly how things go. And her one priority is to make sure the models are comfortable above everyone else. And so you really learn how to interact with people, and it really breaks down some barriers you probably didn't even think, that you knew about, So definitely encourage you to consider some of those, because they're going to change the way you see things.
Well said.
Yes.
All right.
And Julie says Kim was awesome.
Yeah,
and is.
She is.
Yeah, we watched Justin and I last year watched Kim and Dennis experiment with light projections onto Dennis and taking shots. It was amazing, and vice versa. Dennis was light painting Kim, and they were just mucking around in between a workshop. And we just sat there and got to learn from these two people. It was amazing.
Yeah,
very cool. Look, I think on that note, I think we've almost covered everything that we wanted to go through. Justin, do you think we've reached the natural point of conclusion?
Look, I think so. I mean, I'll check if the boys have got anything else to say. But if you are one of the 83 people still listening, we had hundreds before. So thank you all for listening and joining us. If you haven't seen our podcast before, we do actually interview photographers like Matt and Nick, and even really good photographers every Thursday.
Glad you clarified. Yeah.
Every Thursday. I mean, we had Michael Coyne last week. We've had Jeff Cable, 8-time Olympic photographer. We've had Nick Fletcher. We've had Matt Crummins. We've had Bruce Moyle.
A lot of the BFOP instructors we've got interviews.
I think had most of the BFOPs.
Yeah. There's still plenty on our list though. You guys have a lot of instructors. But yeah, we've had a lot of people on. Every Thursday we do these long form interviews. They go for 2 to 3 hours live, but then they're available later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. So give us a subscribe and a like if you can, because then you'll be up to date with what we do. We do this all year round, 52 weeks a year. This isn't just a BFOP thing. So get on board the Camera Life podcast.
Just one really important thing just before we finish, which is that if you've got any sort of questions, down to what color socks do I need to wear, the best way to get in touch is matt@bfopaustralia.com, and he'll respond immediately.
Beautiful.
Happily give you sock choice options. Yes.
Actually, that's actually a really good point. But before we do finish, if you do have one last question in the chat, everyone's saying thanks because you're all amazing. But throw your question in the chat. We'll bring it up in the last few seconds of the show. If there's something we've missed that we didn't put on our schedule that you guys want to know about. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. What are we? Bit over a week away?
Yeah.
Well, a week tomorrow. Yeah. No, a week. Yeah, tomorrow technically because the buses go off.
On Thursday. Yep.
The other thing, the only thing I think, if you want to add something just whilst people are wrapping up and saying goodbye, I know there'll be some panic chickens out there who'll follow the weather over the next 10 days, expecting that what they see on the app will be exactly what's going to happen second by second. I am one of those people. You might notice that the name, what is it here? The BFOP punching bag, who's also the BFOP catastrophizer. The reality is that I've been running workshops in Bright now for nearly 10 years, like 5-day-long workshops. Nick, you've been up in Bright forever as well. And the one thing we've learned about Bright is that the weather forecast has absolutely no bearing on the weather in Bright, because it's the weather stations are not taken from Bright. It's Wangaratta, and I think there's one on Hotham, which is obviously wildly different. And so Bright's kind of an averaging between them, but equally Bright's inside a valley that's surrounded by mountains. So you either get the weather trapped in there and no one else is affected, or the opposite. So if you're thinking about it, what I'd say is bring warm gear, absolutely, as Nick said, bring wet weather gear, bring cool, singlets and t-shirts, like bring it all, because you don't know what you'll need. And more importantly, as we lead into BFOP, don't sit there and panic about the weather. Like, it's going to be what it's going to be, and what you think it's going to be will not be what it is in the end anyway. So it actually just doesn't matter.
all the best photos out of the festival have come when we've had wild weather. Just because you get the wild weather move forward, and then you get this gap, and just like literally go back through BFOP groupies and look at the photos, and it'll be those weekends where we've had really wild weather. We've had amazing photos. So just keep your fingers crossed that it's going to do something horrific.
Good advice. Great advice. And of course, you guys have already organised an Aurora. Will that be happening on Friday or Saturday night?
Yeah, from about 11:30 on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that? Yeah, Aurora will be performing on Friday night on the main stage from 10 o'clock. But yeah,
That Aurora. Yeah. Okay. But look, on that note, I think that's a natural place to call it stumps. But just before we do wrap up, Matt, Nick, thank you so much for joining us today and for, I'm sure, putting a lot of people's minds at ease and answering a ton of questions and also giving people options and solutions as to what they need to know for BFOP 2025. In your own words, what would be the final piece of advice you would give anyone who is coming to BFOP this year? Nick, let's hear from you.
I think just turn up with like a spirit of generosity and sort of get it. It's a community event. So, clear up the chairs at the end of the day, help out the person next to you, and you'll just have this most amazing weekend.
Yep, most definitely. And Matt, what about you, mate?
I would say if you are nervous, if you are the sort of person who feels awkward because you might not know lots of people, I would walk through those doors as though everyone is an old friend, because I think you'll find that the more open you are to the new experience of finding this community, the more you will just get totally absorbed in it. And there's just nothing and no reason to be nervous about it or anything. I just see so many people get panicked that, I'm going for my first year and I don't know what to expect. That's the joy. You wouldn't be coming if you hadn't heard about this from somewhere else, because we don't talk, we don't advertise it. So just trust in the system and trust in the people, and I promise you'll have an amazing time. And as Nick said, it's a community event, so chip in, get involved, but just immerse yourself. Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic.
100%.
And no doubt have a great weekend.
Absolutely. But if in doubt, if you walk in and you're like, hey, I really don't feel like I can pretend anyone's my old friend. You know what I look like. You know what Greg looks like. Just come and find us. We'll be floating around HQ. Just come. Yeah.
Or Matt or Nick.
Or Matt. Just go and talk to one of us and be like, hey, I don't know where I am. I didn't bring a camera. No, whatever.
We'll Velcro you to someone else, and then you'll find a friend instantly.
You'll be fine.
One of those baby pouches on the chest is ideal.
I got to dig through these comments on our way out, Greg. But I actually got sent a BFOP theme song today by a mystery messenger who has the podcast phone number, the podcast hotline number. So I might play that on our way out. I don't know if it'll work, knowing how well this Bluetooth works, but should we do that? Is there anything else before I hit play and read through comments?
No, I think we've covered off everything. Yeah, more. Let's roll the tape.
Let's see what it's got a long intro, but we'll see what happens. Let's see if it works. Tell me if you can hear this. You hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
A bit more volume.
Okay, more volume. It gets worse. I mean, better. Okay, Karen Lawler, shitting bricks, can't wait. Sharon Watkins, thanks to everyone. Looking forward to seeing you all on the road, travelling down now, third BFOP, and looking forward to it. Perfect future, what it's looking like, it's looking bright, it's looking like it's gonna be alright. What is this song? It's it all happens right here at BFOP, in the city of bright, right here in the city of bright. Oh no, it's so good but bad. Fundamental Photography, keen to lend a hand on Thursday. Yeah, come and help us. We'll be setting up all our camera straps and stuff.
We will also have a we need some volunteers on Thursday as well. We've got 600 show bags that we're packing. So if we need a production line, anyone who's into production line work, come along. We'll be there to help.
We'll be there.
Mark Slater, thanks. Neil Anderson. Everyone's happy. It's so good. Scott's traveling Australia. We're very quiet. Make sure you have another Aurora. They'll be onto it. Yeah. And the only way to check the weather apparently is by walking outside. Karen Lawler is going to download some podcasts for the way down. That's the best way to do it. If you got a big long drive, download some Camera Life podcast episodes. I think I saw back here
Someone said, oh, here we go. Craig Murphy, need a Chris Hopkins episode on the podcast. We do. Episode 72 with Chris Hopkins was recorded on the 24th of April. So download that one on your way across to Bright. And otherwise, this AI song of Bright in the theme of Nickelback is horrendous and awesome.
That is so terrible.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Travel safe. See you next week.